Hey kids, do you happen to have a Munsters Masquerade game at home? Well, I'm Bill Brio, and today's guest on Brio TV, the podcast, would love to add it to his incredible collection. All of us collect something. I collect reels of 16mm film. My guest today collects TV-themed board games, puzzles, dolls, and toys. Not just a few here and there. 4 rooms of his home in Hamilton, Ontario are jammed with all kinds of TV memorabilia. As they used to sing on The Addams Family, his house is a museum. He probably has more Man from U.N.C.L.E. lunchboxes, games, posters, and toy spy guns than the stars Robert Vaughn or David McCallum ever had. He also displays autographed photos from Gilligan's Island, board games based on Bewitched and Jonny Quest, and trading cards spun off from everything from Batman to Get Smart. If you want to see some of this stuff, I've posted plenty of photos from my tour of Bruce's TV museum at my main site, Brio.tv. That's BRIOUX.tv. In the meantime, meet Bruce Button, Canada's keeper of every boomer's childhood memories. I'm here with Bruce Button. Bruce, we met at a screening a month or so ago in Hamilton. Thank you very much for coming out to see some of the TV on films at that point. We had some fun at the Westdale Theatre. And we did some trivia at the event, and you were so good at TV trivia, we had to disqualify you. You were you were winning everything. You knew the questions before I asked them. Anyway, nice to see you again.
Good seeing you, Bill.
And thank you for having me here to your home in Hamilton. And when we talked before, we got to know each other, it came out that you have a tremendous collection of TV memorabilia, board games, all kinds of things, even a 16mm print of The Man from U.N.C.L.E., which you brought to the screening. So I'm very excited to learn about this world of collecting. I have a few things myself. But I'm stunned to have looked online at some of your board games. And you just came back from a convention in Chicago. Tell me about that. What was that all about?
Well, it's a show they have in St. Charles, actually. It's the Kane County Toy and Doll Show. Mm-hmm. And they have it twice a year, once in the spring, once in the fall. And it's a big show. A lot of dealers there, a lot of toys. A lot of the stuff that I'm looking for. When you talk about toy collecting up here in Canada, you'll find most of them collect the Hot Wheels or the Pokemon, that sort of stuff. I'm more into the 60s TV memorabilia.
Fabulous.
You don't find a lot of it up here. But down there in the States, it's plentiful.
When did you first start getting into collecting?
I've been collecting since I was a teenager.
Okay.
You know, I collected the gum cards, the comic books. I saved all the TV guides.
Did you have a Corgi Batmobile when you were a youngster? Or
No, I didn't.
Okay.
No, I didn't.
What is the earliest thing that you have in your museum that is something you played with?
Since then, toy-wise, not a lot, because that stuff got played with and thrown out. I mean, like I said, I saved all the gum cards, all the comic books. But then about in the 80s, I started finding down in the States through Toy Shop magazine dealers that were selling 60s toys.
Wow.
And that's how I started. So the collection really started in the 80s. Once the internet came in, look out, the sky's the limit.
And is it on eBay that you find a lot of things now?
Not a lot on eBay anymore, because eBay is just sometimes too pricey, but I still find the odd piece.
It's pricey, especially when you have to bring it up from the States and ship it and things, right?
Yeah.
Because I do that with film. Well, let's enter. This is upstairs, and this is the library.
This is what I call the library,
All right, and I'm walking into the library now, and my God, it is crammed with fabulous, oh my goodness, TV memorabilia. I don't even know where to look.
Yeah.
So you are a big Beatles fan. You're wearing a Beatles t-shirt.
Yes, love the Beatles.
Let's start there, because I'm looking down one wall and you have down here a Scooby-Doo telephone.
Oh, I got that at the Chicago Toy Show a number of years ago.
Oh my God.
And it's great. It needs new batteries right now, but when it rings, they all shake, and Scooby goes, "Oh, I'm scared."
And behind that, you have Lily and Herman Munster.
The Barbie dolls.
Oh my God. Barbie, when did that come out?
That's not too old. That's like the 90s, I believe.
That is incredible. There's Fred Gwynn and Canada's Yvonne DiCarlo.
Doesn't have a date on this.
Lovely.
Oh, wait a second. Maybe in the bottom here. I know I've had 2 of these, and they go for pretty good dollars.
Yeah, that's perfect in the box. It looks incredible. Now, the wall has several Beatle dolls. I had a couple of these. My daughter was into it, and so these are the Beatles from Yellow Submarine. You've got the blue meanie here with Ringo, I think.
Yeah.
And this looks like, is this John's Rolls Royce? Is that
no? That's
one of them?
just a
Beatle
card.
car? Okay.
But when you want to talk about the figures, this is the one.
So Paul, and this is, who is that?
Old Fred.
Old Fred. Now, why is that the one?
Because here's Paul up here.
Oh, yeah.
So that was like
rarer.
Much rarer, yeah.
What would that be worth?
Hard to say. I know I have a big Beatles friend. His name is Kevin Lee.
Okay.
He was over here Monday night.
Yeah.
And he brought his son, and I was showing off the collection. And he's going, "Oh, man, this is the one I don't have."
Yeah, wow, that's cool. Okay,
Yeah.
well, you have all of the Beatles, and then the top along the ceiling is 1, 2, 3, how many? 12, 15 Austin Powers figures. So everybody from, there's the Fat Bastard, I guess. There's Dr. Evil. Oh my God!
I don't know if any of these still work or not.
They make noises and stuff.
Can't seem to.
Where did you buy all of these at once? Where did you find
Well,
them?
yeah, when it came out, when the movie came out, and I saw them, and I started picking them up.
Pretty amazing. Now there's some autographed photos here. Who is this?
This is Victoria Vetri.
Ah, okay. And now I don't know who that is.
Victoria Vetri was she was a Playboy Playmate of the Year.
Right, I guessed that from what she's almost wearing.
Yeah. Her big film was When Dinosaurs Ruled the Earth.
My God, okay.
And I saw that at the show, and that was 1970.
That's fantastic.
So I'm always looking for Victoria Vetri stuff. For a while there in 60s TV, she was going under the name of Angela Dorian.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyone knows Vetri. So, but next year, I recognize this gentleman. He's a famous actor from 60s and 70s television. He's got some pretty famous kids, right?
That's right. That's Lloyd Bridges right there from Sea Hunt.
That's great. And it's signed. Did you have that signed?
No, I found that at an antique flea market down in Chicago a number of years ago.
Good old Lloyd Bridges. And who is this over here? Is this Vetri again?
Yeah, that's Vetri again.
Ah, this is a color shot of Victoria Vetri.
But this one I love.
Oh, so right below Victoria is the Jim Backus and Natalie Schaefer from Gilligan's Island. Both of these have signed their names to this picture.
I got them at Sid Cahanga's one-of-a-kind movie memorabilia in Florida.
My God, how long ago was that?
No, that was with my second wife at that time, so we're going back in the 90s, I guess.
Because both of them have passed away for many years.
Oh, yeah.
I used to go to, there was a guy who ran in Los Angeles, he had a Hollywood collector's show.
Right.
And you'd go down and get everything signed, and it was fascinating to see, there would be 60 or 70 former TV stars in one room.
Right, yes.
And they'd be everything from all the sweat hogs not named Travolta to, the guy who once did a Charlie Brown commercial in the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
But then you would get Lou Ferrigno, or you would get the Fonz.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so do you attend some of these?
There's one in that I've been to a couple times in just outside of in Baltimore. And it's called Mid-Atlantic nostalgia.
I've heard about it. Never been.
I've been there a couple times.
They got pretty good guests, too,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. That's great. All right, where do you want to direct us next? Because there's so much to look at here.
Yeah, like I said, this is basically supposed to be my library, and I've got all the books and everything. Tons of books on the Beatles. But, as I find stuff going to shows and everything, I want to have it out on display, so that's why you've got a Gomer Pyle lunch
Look
pail.
at this Gomer Pyle USMC lunch pail. There he is, Jim Neighbors and Sergeant.
And who played Sergeant Carter?
Oh my God! It was. I know. I can't. Who would tell me? Go ahead.
Frank Sutton.
Frank Sutton. Of course it was.
He died young.
He did.
Yes.
And is this an original from
Yes.
the '60s? My
Yes.
God. Yeah.
Oh, of course. Yes.
Where did you pick that up? Do you remember?
I don't know, but I got it cheap because look at the other side.
It's dented on the other side, but nonetheless, did it come with a thermos?
No thermos with this one.
All right. Wow, I don't like. Okay, you've got a Barney lamp next to W.C. Fields, who is surrounded by Bart Simpson and
Ringo Starr. Curious George.
Now, okay, you've got something up there that I have at home and cherished as a kid, a Kenner Give-A-Show projector. And it would come with these slide strips on cardboard that had Woody Woodpecker and different people. That, to me, fascinated me as a youngster, and I have one. But because they're 60 years old now, the cardboard is impossible to feed through.
It's all warpy.
Yeah, that is very cool.
Well, that's just one of a few that I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
I believe it. I believe it. This Peanuts 63. What is this, a book?
That's a calendar.
Oh, cool.
And I got it at a guy's store in Welland.
Really?
Oh, man, you wouldn't have believed this store. The guy just had stuff all over the place.
Sometimes do you find things at an amazing price that people just don't know the value of it?
Sometimes.
Yeah. But
sometimes I pay big bucks for some stuff because I got to have it.
What was the big spend this year in Chicago?
2 of them.
Okay.
One was the Munsters Castex set.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. So this is a game.
No, it's a kit.
It's a kit
with a paste that you mix up and you put it in the molds, and when it dries, you paint them.
And you make Herman and you make Lily. Wow. Yeah.
That was one big item. The other big item, and I've been looking for this for a long time, the Johnny Quest board game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Cool. We're going to get to that later, I'm sure. You have so much, and to look at, there's a small Bewitched lunchbox. This looks more repro from recent years.
That's recent, yeah.
But these are the Aurora models?
But not originals.
Really?
Yes, the Polar Lights, or I think they're Aurora.
Okay, so we're looking at the Mummy, Frankenstein, the Wolfman and Dracula, the classic Universal monsters. You've got the Witch up above. Very, very cool.
Here's a nice piece here. Let me move some of this stuff out of the way, because I really like this piece.
Oh my God.
Look at that.
This is amazing. So it's a Tyco official Petticoat Junction HO scale electric train set.
It's in mint condition.
It is. It's stunning. And there's pictures up above of Uncle Joe's moving kind of slow, and the lady that did the voice of Wilma and the Flintstones. There's the 3 who draped their clothes over the wash tower at the beginning.
First season.
Yeah, that is amazing. Where did you buy that?
Believe it or not, I got that at a toy show just in Ancaster.
Oh my God!
So it was local, and
that is amazing. It is mint condition.
But I got all this other stuff jammed up in front of it. That's the problem.
Well, you have to put it somewhere.
Yeah, I know.
So there's a poster over here of the Man from U.N.C.L.E. Is this a Man from U.N.C.L.E. feature film?
Yes. You know what they did? They did back in the 60s. They took all the 2-part Man from U.N.C.L.E. episodes and released them as feature films.
Wow.
Especially for the European market.
Right.
Because they weren't getting the show on TV regularly like we were.
Well, there was on Turner Classic Movies, they ran a short promoting the 2 actors, David McCallum and Robert Vaughn, in Europe. I think they were each shooting separate films, but they were, I guess, also doing some work on behalf of these things. Right?
Vaughn was in there for doing the Venetian Affair.
Yeah.
And McCallum was there for doing 3 Bites of the Apple.
Oh, my God.
And the two of them did get together while they were over there, and they shot some footage of them on a gondola in Venice.
Yeah, it's a cool little short.
Yes, I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah. Who else would know this, Bruce? Thank you. I'm glad I'm in the right room. My God, this is amazing. Well, don't touch that dial. We'll be back with Bruce Button after these messages. It's time once again to speak with Emily Gagne at Hollywood Suite. Emily, what do you got for us this month?
Well, it's Noir-vember, so we have a ton of noir films for you to watch this month. But if you're not into that, we have every Dirty Harry film ever made available to watch this month.
Wow, that's a lot of Dirty Harry films.
It is. We are premiering the Deadpool, which is not to be confused with Deadpool, which is the last film in the series. But if you're not into that stuff, we also have the premiere of Neil Young's Heart of Gold, and we're premiering that on his birthday, which is great. And for the people that are getting excited about Christmas and the holiday season, we have 'Tis the Season, which is a documentary about holiday films from throughout cinematic history, which is sort of leading me into the treat that we have coming for people.
What's that?
It's December 1st to January 5th. We have a free preview across Canada with broadcast providers, so you can watch hundreds of films for free. But, get a sneak peek this month with our Noir-vember program.
Holy smoke, talk about make my day. Free preview coming up. Lots of great films in November from Hollywood Suite. Well, you've loved her on Mary Makes It Easy. Now she's cooking up a whole new series called The Good Stuff with Mary Berg. What's it all about, Mary?
It's called The Good Stuff with Mary Berg, and when we were talking about it and kind of developing the idea and working through what it was actually going to look like, the main thing we kept coming back to is just filling people's lives up, and that doesn't mean with like always big flashy things, but just sharing stories from people doing good things from across Canada, sharing stories from people who are maybe more well-known who are doing good things. There will obviously still be food. Every day I'm gonna cook something up that you can make at home, have cook-alongs with different chefs, hopefully get some guests to cook along, because I want to convince people that anybody can actually cook. Wow. But I'm really excited to learn. I'm a lifelong trier, and I am so looking forward to learning from the different experts we're going to have on.
That's The Good Stuff with Mary Berg, weekdays at 10 a.m. on CTV. And we're back with Button. There's a Mr. Magoo doll here. Was this a shampoo thing?
That's a Soaky.
Okay, so Soakies were shampoo bottles that kids would get, and I had a bunch of these, and if I had kept them, I could, probably get a car now or something, right?
My last trip to Chicago, I picked up the Paul and Ringo Soaky.
Really? I didn't even know they had Soakies.
And you know what? They only made Paul and Ringo.
Really?
They never made a John and George.
So they only made the two that still are alive.
Yeah, isn't that funny?
That is, I don't know what that says. Oh my God. There's a Flintstone lamp here. There's a shade, and then there's Fred's body below it. That is amazing. Where did that come from?
That came from the toy show in Chicago.
Just now?
No, a number of years ago. I've been going to this Chicago toy show for quite a long time now.
Wow.
Always find good stuff there.
That is amazing. Is that from the 60s?
Yeah.
And there's Flintstone lunch pail behind that. Oh, and you've got a Julia lunchbox.
Yeah.
That is in pretty good condition. It's just endless and endless. I love, I don't even know where to look.
Well, this is only the one room.
I know, Family Affair lunchbox.
Just got that fairly recently.
Did you? There's Buffy and Jody.
And the thermos, too.
Oh, and the thermos.
Yeah, always nice when you can get the thermos, too.
Mr. French has packed a nice lunch, I'm sure. Oh, my God. You've got these giant, high stakes, What is that? I'm looking at these big. There's Jerry Lewis's picture on here. What am I looking at?
They're games. They're these big oversized games. And you know what? I had doubles of that. And I sold them to a guy at a recent show, cheap. He was another dealer.
Yeah.
And he proceeded to put them on Marketplace at a higher price.
Well, wouldn't you know it, right?
Well, I don't care. I had to get rid of them. I got too much stuff.
Yeah.
And a few shows later, I said, how you doing with those games? He says, I can't sell them.
Yeah.
Nobody wants mine because they're too big.
There is a point where the nostalgia, like, it has a shelf life of a certain number of years.
Yeah.
And it's sort of when people age out of that collectible thing, like, you know, I'm fascinated by stuff in the 50s, but now that's kind of too old, isn't it?
That's right. Well, my wife is pushing on me to get rid of some of that stuff.
Right.
Well, the market is ripe right now because 10 years from now, nobody's going to care about the Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Right. Yeah. She's not wrong, I think, but it's hard to part with. I know.
Yes.
I know.
Yes.
Okay. It's incredible. So you talk about things that are really old. Jan Murray was a comedian who used to be on Ed Sullivan and different places. So this is some sort of a game that he's involved with.
What's that called? Jan Murray's TV word game.
Wow. Yeah. That is hilarious.
I think he host a game show back in the 60s?
I'm sure he did.
That ilk?
Yeah, you would see him on Hollywood Squares and different things. And there's Charlie Brown Pez dispensers. You got Pee Wee Herman in the corner.
Pee Wee Herman stuff is hot right now.
Yeah, I bet it is.
You wouldn't believe it.
Well, with the death of Paul Rubens, sadly.
Yeah, because I got the talking Pee Wee there. And up here, this is the ventriloquist.
Oh, that's amazing. That is amazing. Do you have Cherry?
No.
A friend of mine has Cherry.
Oh, really? Oh, that's a nice piece to have.
Yeah. And there's a cereal box. Or is it? What is that? Is that a prop?
I made that myself.
That's amazing.
When I was in college and I was in advertising, we had to create a product and market it ourselves. So I created this Kellogg's Banana Crunch.
That's incredible.
And the jingle went, Banana Crunch is fun to munch. It will last you up till lunch. Banana Crunch cereal, new from Kellogg's.
I'd buy it. Yeah, that's delicious. Good for you.
And that was before they were making banana flavored cereal.
Well, you knew the appeal, I think, right? Speaking of bananas, we got a split. No, I'm just kidding. There's a Dennis the Menace doll, Woody Woodpecker, a Pebbles lamp. It just goes on. A Hawaii 5-0 game.
Yes.
Oh, my
That's
goodness.
very rare.
Yeah?
Yes. I was glad to grab that one.
Peter Gunn, Detective Game. These are all board games. The Flintstones, Peanuts. What is the most valuable board game that you own?
It's got to be probably the two Munsters board games.
Oh, really? There
were three of them.
Wow.
I only have two.
Only?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm looking for the third. I was hoping to get it in the last trip, but I didn't.
I'm looking at, too, you have several books. These are books that kids would have read probably in the 60s that are sort of spun off from well-known TV shows. So you've got Dr. Kildare, Bonanza, Dragnet, Family Affair.
Yep.
I've seen these in various antique places now and then. They're still pretty
Whitman
visible.
books.
Whitman books? Yep. Okay. How collectible are they? Yeah, they're not a huge price, are they?
But I like them.
Yeah, so
this is a nice piece right here. Let me point this out here.
Casey Jones.
Yeah, it's a board game.
Wow.
And you know who played Casey Jones, eh?
Well, it looks like the captain from Gilligan's Island.
Alan Hale.
Alan Hale, Jr.
And you know what? I have every episode on DVD.
Do you really?
And they're great. As a matter of fact, one of the episodes, the guest star is Russell Johnson.
That's hilarious.
Who played the professor on Gilligan's Island.
I saw him at one of those Hollywood Collector shows. He was signing coconuts.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That was, everybody else was autographing 8x10s. He and Marianne were signing coconuts.
He wrote this book. Excuse me, Barbie Bewitched. He wrote this book here on Gilligan's Island.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Russell Johnson with Steve Cox. This is not my signed copy. Here's my signed copy.
Wow.
And
that's great. Been a nice inscription with thanks for your contribution to this book.
So Steve Cox, and there's Steve's
Yeah.
blurb. Steve Cox is an author. He's written lots of books on, Gilligan's Island, the Munsters, the Addams Family. And when he was doing this book, he got in touch with me and said, Russell needs the episodes to rewatch them. And of course, at that time, we're talking before DVD.
Yeah.
I had them all on VHS.
Oh, wow.
So I copied the entire series of Gilligan's Island onto VHS.
And sent them down to these
shipped
guys.
It down to Russell
Oh,
Johnson.
that's fantastic. Good for you. You're
Yeah.
a vital part. Now, I noticed you've got a signed a picture of Denny Lane, who was with Wings and
Yep.
Paul McCartney for many years.
I found that at Value Village down the street.
That is hilarious. I actually saw Denny Lane at one of these Hollywood Collector shows, and he signed a picture for me.
Yeah, he's still kicking.
He is, yeah. He was in a band before Wings. What was it? Moody Blues?
Moody Blues.
Yeah.
Yes,
that's
you
right.
are absolutely right.
Incredible. Well,
Ding, 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 you win.
Johnny Astro, blast off, command your moonshot.
That belonged to my kid brother.
That's awesome.
And he kept that from when he was a kid.
That is
And
great.
I saw it in his basement once, and I always bugged him that I wanted it. And then one Christmas, he gave it to me as a Christmas
That's
present.
lovely.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you have a Rat Patrol game. Let me just.
Oh, that's the model kit.
Is it?
Yes.
Of the car with a.
Yeah, it's a little diorama of the car and the dunes and everything.
That's amazing.
And it's funny because I just got this lunch pail here
Oh, a Rat Patrol lunch
at the
pail.
last trip to Chicago.
There's, it's just everywhere you look. An F Troop card game up at the top there, and an F Troop board game behind that.
Yes.
Holy smokes. I'm speechless. So, all right, we're going to probably take this show into another room.
Alrighty.
So you lead on and we'll check that one out. We're now down in your rec room, which is a shrine to, it looks like television, the Beatles, the Marx Brothers. Incredible amount of pictures here. And overhead, there are about 28 by 10s, all autographed by various TV personalities, even Chuck the Night Watchman.
Oh, yeah.
From Channel 47.
I was on that show.
Oh my God! So if people don't remember this aired in the 80s.
Yeah.
And he was a guy who did an all-night show, and they would show amazing, curious little films and TV tidbits.
He was great.
He was great. Yeah, Charles Lawther.
Yep.
Yeah,
Chaz Lawther.
Chaz Lawther. So
And
is he still with us?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And they had this contest, Spot the Movie. And they showed these movie clips.
Yeah.
And, oh, come on.
Too easy for you.
This is easy. So I did all kinds of entries. I drove all around the city posting them on all different mailboxes.
Wow.
So the night of the show, he's turning the drum, and I can see some of my entries in there.
Oh,
And so he pulls it out, and he pulls out my name.
that's fantastic. Of course he does.
So he phones me at home, like it's the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And I was a night shift worker at that time, so I was used to being up all night.
Yeah.
And he phones me at home, and he says, we'll have to make arrangements for you to get the prize. It was a car stereo. And I said, why don't I come down now?
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, let me check. And he gets back on, yeah, come on down. So my first wife and I at the time, we drove down to Toronto.
Right.
We got to meet Chuck. We got to hang out. They even put us on air, so it was great.
Wow, that's great. And you had a car that you could install the stereo into?
That's right.
That helped.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's great. Well, I hadn't seen or thought of him in a while. There's Larry Storch next to him, just passed away at
Yes,
99.
he did, yeah.
And who do we have next to him?
That's Roy Finnis from the Invaders
Oh, my God.
and Pete Best from the Beatles.
Oh, cool. I did talk to him once. He at a Beatle convention here. And he admitted that he hadn't heard from Paul and
No.
Ringo since
No.
63
That's right.
or something. Yeah. I love all the Marx Brother art. This is fabulous. There's a beautiful poster of Groucho through the years.
Bill, let me ask you, do you like the Marx Brothers?
Yeah, I have 7 or 8 of their features on 16 millimeter.
No way.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No,
Do you have the early stuff, or do you have any of the later stuff?
I have the middle. I've got from Monkey Business through to I have A Night in Casablanca. Oh. But I have Day at the Races and Night at the like all those middle ones, the last 3 Paramount, and then the next 3 or 4 MGM.
You know, the one that fascinates me is Love Happy.
Don't have it. That's the last one. Now, why does it fascinate you? It's kind of the weaker film.
Originally it was supposed to be just a Harpo Marx film.
Right, yeah.
But then Chico needed the money.
Right.
And then the backer said, well, we can't sell it unless you've got the other brother in there. So that's why they had to write in something for Groucho.
Yeah.
But it's funny because the version that came out on DVD, it was out, and then there was another version came out years later that had like about 6 minutes of footage that wasn't in the earlier one.
Oh, really? And was it more Harpo?
More Harpo. Yeah. There's more Chico in it.
Wow.
So I'm comparing the two of them because I got them both on DVD.
And do you like the extended version?
I like the extended version.
Yeah.
So now I even go back to my VHS tapes that I taped off television back in the 80s.
Yeah.
And I pull out my Love Happy from back in the 80s. I'm thinking, okay, this is the shortened version. It is the shortened version.
Yeah.
I'm watching it, but there's a scene at the end of the movie that's not in either of the other versions.
Oh, isn't that wild?
Yeah.
There's a podcast of guys who are Marx Brothers fans, and they talk all about these things and the quality of there's still 35 millimeter original prints of some films, and then others there aren't. So it's fascinating to me. But I love all the artwork, and then you've got another artwork here is drawings of the 4 Marx Brothers, Paramount circa. There's Lucy with Harpo from his appearance on her show. Yeah, it's awesome, really cool.
This I love.
You have a big poster of Beatles Abbey Road from the cover of the album. Where'd you pick that up?
That was a promo poster back in the day from '69.
Really?
It's on a heavier, almost cardboard-like stock.
Oh my God, that's a real McCoy.
It hang in the corner store of our neighborhood.
Wow.
And I said to the owner, I says, when you're finished with that, can I have it? And he says, well, one of the other employees went, I'd really like to have it. It might be ripped. I'll take it anyways. So it's missing one piece on the corner.
Can't even tell.
Yeah, so I had it professionally framed.
It's beautiful.
I've had that since '69.
That is amazing. That's a real McCoy piece here. It's everywhere. I don't know where to look next. Why don't you point? Well, what I love, there's this lovely framed picture of the 2 stars from The Man from U.N.C.L.E. They're hanging on a rope, and they're somewhere over hanging off an airplane, I guess. Where is this from?
Do you recognize that?
I do not. No, I don't know the show as well as you do, that's for sure.
It was a TV Guide cover.
Oh, really?
These are when they did TV Guide back in the 60s,
nice, yeah.
They did those personality prints that they sent around to the TV stations, which was the same TV Guide cover without the logo and the copy on the front.
That's amazing. I was good friends with a photographer, Gene Trindle. I was a photo editor before I was a writer in L.A., and he shot over 200 covers in the 60s. I don't think he did Man from U.N.C.L.E., but that is so cool. I've never seen that before.
The very next week, when TV Guide released that issue, and that's my favorite TV Guide cover of all time.
It's a great shot.
The very next week was the Batman cover.
Oh, my God.
Do you remember seeing that
Zap
one?
Pow.
That's it.
That's very collectible
one.
with the cape. Yeah, no, it's a beauty. And other great shots. There's a caricature of the two of them here. What's the story?
I'm trying to find the TV Guide. That's a local TV Guide. Artist named Al Hankey.
Really?
Chicago.
Oh, my God.
And I don't know if it ever made it onto the cover of their local TV Guide.
Never seen that before. You've got a green Hulk. Is it a bank?
Yeah.
That is hilarious. And here's another band from U.N.C.L.E.
Tea towel. And
that is awesome.
I had that professionally framed too, and when I took it in, I says, how are you guys going to do this? Well, we put it on there and we staple it down. I go, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah, hold on.
You're not putting any staples in that. Yeah. Well, we could use tape. Yeah, use tape. Don't put staples in it.
There's a great Laurel and Hardy dolls here. Are they marionettes with the
ventriloquist dolls?
Oh, yeah, very cool. And you've got a set of cartoon Gilligan's Island collectible gum cards. Is this from 65 or 4?
Yes.
Wow.
Very rare set.
Well, how many sets did they have? More than one?
Just the one set.
Okay. And
but that's not all the cards. The rest of the cards are still in the binder. I need another frame to hold them. But I like, why have the cards in the binder when you can have them out and look at them every day?
Them, yeah, absolutely. I have a set of Batman cards. One of them, they're color.
Yeah.
But a lot of time when I was a kid,
photographs or artwork.
It's artwork.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got the set?
I do. Yeah.
It's worth money.
Is it really? Eh?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
There were 3 series.
All right.
Is it the black bat, the blue bat, or the red bat?
Oh my God, I don't know. I'll have to look at it. I'll get back to you on that. It's the old bat.
The old bat.
But they're fun to look at. I just know when I was a kid and collected these, I remember having Get Smart cards and Laugh-In cards.
Got the set.
Okay,
got the set.
You could open the doors and read the joke and stuff.
Mine aren't opened.
Well, that's the beauty of it, because the problem as a kid is at the last day of school, you just went scrambles, or you just gave them away, or you threw them up in the air, and you threw away a lot of money.
Do you remember the Get Smart set?
I don't entirely.
The cards were about that big, perforated, and there were actually 2 cards on one card.
Really?
And you'd have to rip the perforate to have the
I had forgotten that. Absolutely forgot it.
Here's some celebs I'm with them, with Robert Vaughn there.
Oh, wow.
Tiny Tim. I was good friends with Tiny Tim.
Oh, my goodness.
That's Keely Smith, who sang with Louis Prima.
Wow.
Bob Denver, and that's my son there, dressed as Gilligan.
Yeah, these are color 8x10s.
And there's Billy Mooney.
Billy Mooney.
And what I gave him there is a copy of my CD.
Oh, yeah.
Because I play too, so
nice.
I knew he was a musician.
He's very into music, right?
Yeah.
That was his career after being an actor.
Yeah.
And very articulate guy on memories of Lost in Space and other shows.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Back in a moment with Bruce Button. What's new this month on Super Channel? Well, the royal mob's still at it. Think the Sopranos were a murderous crime family? Forget about it. Fact is, Great Britain's royal family had control of much of Europe and beyond under Queen Victoria. The series combines scripted drama with commentary from expert historians to tell the tale of one of the most compelling, powerful, yet dysfunctional families in history. If that series makes you lose faith in humanity, be of good cheer. Every Friday, there are also new episodes of The Chosen about the life and times of Jesus Christ. And by the last week of November, Super Channel's Heart and Home channel will be unpacking their annual gift bag full of holiday movies. 'Tis the season. And remember, Super Channel, an all-Canadian service, is available via cable providers across the country, as well as streaming live on demand with Amazon Prime Video channels and Apple TV+. You can also check out the new streaming channel, Super Channel Plus, available now on the Roku platform in Canada. Have you been watching the new reboot of Frasier on Paramount Plus? Kelsey Grammer, who played the fussy psychiatrist for 20 consecutive seasons on Cheers and Frasier, has moved back to Boston. Besides Frasier, Paramount Plus has the new Taylor Sheridan Western, Lawmen, Bass Reeves. The anthology series aims to profile a different Old West hero every season. This one is about a one-time slave who becomes the first U.S. black marshal. Dennis Quaid and Donald Sutherland also star. There's also The Curse, the latest from Toronto native Nathan Fielder. Fielder teams with Emma Stone as a couple taking on various challenges, including trying to conceive a child and trying to escape an alleged curse. Expect plenty of awkward weirdness. Finally, check out the latest in the NCIS franchise, NCIS Sydney. That's right, there's a Naval Criminal Investigative Service in Australia. Crikey! Throw another crook on the Barbie. And remember, there's a mountain of entertainment on Paramount Plus. We're back here with Bruce Button. We're looking at all kinds of things in the rec room down here, and there's a great Oliver Hardy lamp. We got
Stanley over there.
And Stan is on the other side. So cool to see that. You've got Laurel and Hardy on the wall. You've got the Bowery Boys.
I know.
Even the Bowery Boys.
Can you believe that? I saw that in a thrift store, and I'm thinking, I can't believe nobody has grabbed this.
So your memorabilia goes beyond just television. Obviously, you've got a lot of film collectibles too, right?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Well, this is stuff I grew up with.
Yeah. The Marx Brothers from Night in Casablanca are hiding behind curtains on the window. There's Ron Ely from Tarzan, I think. Is that who that is?
That's right. You're absolutely
That
right.
was a series from '66.
He was a nice guy, too.
Yeah, good to hear.
He's not in good health, though, I understand.
Well,
Yeah.
he'd be an older gentleman now,
Yeah.
for sure. I have this.
Oh, yes.
Do you have the propeller?
It's down there. It fell down there somewhere
I do
behind
not have the
couch.
propeller. Does it still talk?
No, it doesn't.
Okay, so this is Beanie from Beanie and Cecil. It's a doll figurine. Mine still talks,
Wow.
but I don't have the propeller. So
Wow.
pretty cool to see that. They're Beanie. This was a show, an animated series that aired in the late '50s. Bob Clampett, and was a very clever, funny show with Dishonest John and lots of fun stuff.
Started out as a puppet show, you know.
Right, and that you can't find or see the early. I'd love to see it in the puppet version. I don't know if that exists
It's
even.
probably something of it on YouTube.
A lot of those were done live, you know.
Yeah.
He got in trouble because he told kids to send money or glue the knob so that your parents couldn't change the channel, something like that. It just goes on and on. We got more Laurel and Hardy up here. There's your lady, what's her?
Victoria Vetri.
Victoria Vetri in a glass case. It looks to me like you have a Three Stooges bowling ball.
My daughter gave that to me, yeah.
Wow. Have you ever used it?
No, it's got no holes in it.
It's got 3 holes in it. What else have we got? Oh, you've got a Huckleberry Hound lamp. That is awesome. Really, really amazing. And these pictures of the Beatles you have framed, and they're in pristine condition. I had these pictures. I had an uncle who lived in Windsor gave them to me, and they did not survive. They were some sort of a premium or giveaway. Do you know the story behind it?
Originally, my set I bought at the C&E.
Okay. Back in, how long ago?
Well, back in the day.
Oh, my God.
Back in the 60s. But these aren't them. Like you, my ones got destroyed and thrown away. And then I found these a number of years ago, again, at a show in Ancaster.
Isn't that amazing?
And I snapped them up.
There's some pretty good antique places in Hamilton, don't they? In the east side, there's a lot of places around there, right?
Yeah, on Ottawa Street.
Yeah.
That's about it for this room.
Okay, well then we should head.
Do you want to see the museum or the game room?
I can't believe this isn't the museum, but sure. You whatever you suggest is next will be next.
Well, we'll do the...
All right, here we go. Okay, so we're going down a level, and it's just even before you step on stairs, it's enough to it's just amazing. So more Man from U.N.C.L.E. stuff and Groucho. So you actually have. I may need to sit down. An It's About Time board game.
Oh yeah.
Okay. What the hell? This is a show that it is.
I loved It's About Time.
It was lasted one season.
Yeah.
And the first half of the season, these 2 astronauts who kind of look like they were modeled after the Skipper and Gilligan from the same guy, same creator.
Sherwood Schwartz.
They go back in time and they meet cavemen and everything. And then halfway through the season, they bring the cavemen back with them to modern times.
That's right.
Yeah. Incredible. What is the deal? How would you play this game? What would you win? Why would you do it? So many questions. Where did you get that?
It was an auction. It was an auction online, and
oh, really?
You know,
so you're bidding?
Yeah, I bid on it, and I thought, you know what? Because I was going through my first divorce, and I thought I deserve a present.
Right.
So I made sure I got it.
Wow. I'm surprised it wasn't lost in the settlement.
Yeah.
Thank goodness you held on to this.
That's right.
And then you've got a Munsters picnic game. Beautiful artwork. It's just incredible.
Yeah, there were 3 Munsters games. There was the Munsters picnic game, the Munsters drag race game.
Oh, my God.
And the Munsters masquerade game. The Munsters masquerade game is the one I need. So if you got any listeners out there that
Okay.
have a spare Munsters Masquerade game, I want it.
We have a good home for it here. All right, let's look. Johnny Quest board game as seen on ABC.
That one I just got recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lost in Space. Milton the Monster board game. Oh, my God. And Green Acres. I love at the bottom, though, you got the Lucy Show game, and there's Vivian Vance, and this is early. Lucy's got her 3 kids at this point, and then a time tunnel game.
Yeah.
You have some leather-bound TV Guide books.
Oh, those are great.
They threw out hundreds of them when TV Guide folded. I have some of them, but yeah, it's really kind of sad. It's a great record of, they're like little 60s time capsules.
It's great reference material.
Yeah, especially, and are these like Southern Ontario editions?
No, this is from, I think, Phoenix.
Oh, my God, wow. Yeah.
So that makes it a little bit confusing sometimes.
Cool, though. No, that's really sharp. All right, there's DJ Dishonest John game from Mattel. He jumps.
Yeah, that's
Holy
Phoenix,
smokes.
Caesar.
What is the most you've ever paid for a board game, Brian?
Bruce.
Bruce, I'm sorry. Bruce.
That's okay.
Have I been calling you Brian a lot?
No, that
Okay,
was the
good.
first time.
Sorry about
First
that.
time ever.
All right, Bruce.
Probably this one.
Johnny Quest game, okay.
I paid $500 for it.
500. And where did you get that?
I got it at the last show in Chicago.
It's just recently.
Yes.
Wow. It's in perfect condition.
Well, it's got tape on it.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Well.
But it's pretty clean. There's great drawings of Race Bannon and Haji and Bandit, the whole gang. It's a beautiful.
And Jezebel Jade.
I have a 16mm print with Jade in it from the
Really?
original series. Yeah.
Wow.
I have 2 Johnny Quests, one with commercials, but the color one has Jade in it, and it's a really hasn't turned. It's in pretty good shape.
In mint condition, this game goes for easily $1,000.
Wow.
So when I saw it for $500, I thought, you know what? I had to really badger the seller because he didn't really want to sell
What was
it.
the asking price?
Well, he asked $500.
And he badgered and he wouldn't budge?
I bugged him, and finally when he decided to sell it, he says to me, "Can you give me a little more?"
Oh, yeah.
And I says, "No,
that great?
500's my limit."
Unbelievable. He's listed it for 500 and then he wants more.
Well, he didn't really want to sell it. That was the problem.
Well, what was he doing at the convention then?
Yeah.
There are so many board games here from television and film. I do not know where to start. It's stunning. You have easily the world's largest private collection of board games, or at least Hamilton's largest.
Yeah. Well, this is in the museum. You haven't been to the game room yet.
Oh, I haven't been to the game room. So here I'm looking at this Patty Duke game, I Spy, Pebbles Flintstone, Petticoat Junction, Gomer Pyle, Stingray. Wow.
Oh yeah.
Ben Casey, Kreskin's ESP game. You know, I knew that was going to be there. You've got 77 Sunset Strip. It's like every game ever in the 60s.
Some of my favorites are up here because they're pretty rare. I've got like the Beatles Flip Your Wig game,
Oh, that's hilarious.
the Banana Splits game, a Gilligan's Island game. That's rare.
Have you played some of these games?
No, I don't play them.
Wow, okay.
Twilight Zone game is pretty rare. This Ironside game, I saw this, and this was at the toy show in Chicago a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And I saw it there, and I thought, oh, I'm not a big Ironside fan, but look at this cover.
Wow. So there's this amazing shot in a graveyard of Raymond Burr as Ironside shooting a monster who looks like he came from Plan 9 from outer space. It's beautiful.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And I mean, who wants to play the game when you've got something just like that? That looks fantastic, just the way it is.
You've got several Leave It to Beaver games.
There were 3, yeah. Bought them all in one whack. And it's funny because they'll post a Leave It to Beaver game on Facebook or some site, and I'm always the first one to say that's only one of 3.
And it's amazing. Thrush gun. You've got a large weapon from the 60s from The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
One of the props of the thrush gun just sold recently at auction, and it went for $14,000.
Oh my God.
This is a toy, but one of the props from the original series.
$14,000.
$14,000.
US?
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing, amazing. What are those pajamas in front of
Yes, Man from Uncle pajamas.
Oh my God. You sleep well, you sleep peacefully knowing you've got the Man from Uncle. All right.
Here, let me show you this piece because I really love this piece, and
please.
I just got it fairly recently within this past year. This hunk of concrete here.
Oh, okay. What is the significance of the hunk of concrete?
It's part of the lagoon.
From Gilligan's Island.
From the original Gilligan's Island.
From the CBS Radford lot, which was called something else back then.
Television City?
Probably. Oh, was this right from... That wasn't from TV City, I don't think. But anyway, might have been. That is amazing.
So it doesn't exist anymore.
No.
Like it's been paved over for a parking lot.
Yeah.
But after they drained it, my friend, author Steve Cox, he went in there and with a crowbar and dug up a bunch of the concrete.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I bought this piece off him. So that's an actual piece of the lagoon from Gilligan's Island.
That's a sacred rock.
Oh, I'll say.
Yeah, no kidding. That is very cool. There's these large display cases now you mentioned that you had brought down here, filled with all kinds of Man from Uncle stuff, like every possible conceivable Man from Uncle thing. And where does the film reside? Your 16 millimeter print, generally?
It was back behind here.
All right, that's pretty cool. You have several TV Guide covers with Ilya Kuryakin and Robert Vaughn. Some of these are TV magazines other than TV Guide.
Yeah, those are all local.
Okay.
They're all local TV Guides.
And you've got a Man from Uncle hat. That looks authentic and 66-ish.
Yeah, I won that on an auction.
Oh, my God.
Hakes Americana, I think it was.
Man from Uncle watches and buttons. It's just incredible. Amazing. So you've been doing this for a few years.
This is my Tiny Tim shelf.
Oh, my God.
Because I knew Tiny Tim.
You said that. So where did you meet Tiny Tim?
When he was singing with the circus.
Oh, which circus? A Barnum and Bailey?
No, it was the Allen C. Hill Circus.
Oh, okay.
And they did Upper State New York, and that was back in the late 80s, and I hooked up with him then.
Wow.
But the interesting thing is this tie.
Yeah, why do you have a tie, a maple leaf tie, in a Tiny Tim display?
Well, Tiny was a big fan of the Leafs.
Really?
Yeah. And so for his birthday one year, I gave him a maple leaf tie.
Oh, nice.
And he would wear it. I've got a picture of him on an album cover wearing it, on a TV show wearing it and everything. Anyways, when Tiny passed away, a big collector in Battle Creek got all of his personal effects.
Really?
And I said to this guy, I said, did you happen to get a maple leaf tie? He says, yeah, I did. I says, oh, that's the gift that I gave Tiny. He says, I'll tell you what, I'll send it to you.
Oh, that's nice.
So it came back. So I bought that here in Hamilton. Tiny wore it. It's got his DNA on it. And now it's in my collection.
That is very, very cool. There's even a Munsters Viewmaster slide set you've got in the window here.
Yeah. I've got one for the Addams Family over there somewhere.
God.
But those are rare. The Munsters and Addams Family are rare.
Never saw that. Yeah, before. And you've got some Munsters collectible gum still in the package.
Yeah.
Gilligan's on the shelf below that. And on and on and on. Addams Family hand puppet of Gomez, I guess.
Yeah.
Incredible. Now we're in, what room is this, Bruce?
Well, I call it my games room. I mean, it's got games, it's got records, it's got DVDs, but basically my games room.
Okay, and you've got a large TV here as you watch some of your... Is it set up for DVDs or VHS? Or
DVDs. I watched an Uncle episode on it.
That's very cool. You have a whole wall of more board games and just some incredible collectibles here. I noticed right away the Star Trek game, and that obviously is very collectible, right?
Yes, yes.
The one, also the Bewitched game, it's got the ABC logo on it. That is very cool. Was there many Bewitched games or just the one, do you know?
Well, that's the funny thing. There's another variation. This Bewitched game on the cover has the pink bird. Is it the pink or the black? And there's another one with the blackbird on the cover.
Okay.
So I can't remember which one I've got. I've got the blackbird.
Oh, okay.
See that bird flying there?
And another one has it paint. And then at least it's perfectly, I don't want to smudge it, but you've got Andorra and Samantha there. Very cool.
And I've seen the one with the pink bird, and I don't know why they didn't sell it to me. I think maybe it was too much they were asking.
Well, it goes on and on. Is there, just point out some of your favorites, I guess.
Well, Mission Impossible, that's a pretty rare game. I love the cover of the Honey West game.
Nice.
This is another good one, Land of the Giants.
That's funny.
My younger brother, who has passed away, was a big board game collector.
Yeah?
Big board game. And this was always his favorite game, The Fugitive.
Really?
So on my 65th birthday, he gave it to me as a birthday present.
Wow.
So that's kind of special.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
The Land of the Giants, and my buddy Gene Trindle, the photographer, we went to one of those collectible shows, and we came upon some of the stars of the show, and they were signing 8x10s of pictures that Gene had shot. And he told me when he was shooting the show, he asked them to get together, and he was going to do a double exposure and put them in a beaker.
Oh, okay.
And when he explained this to them, they said, well, that's pretty corny. And he goes, well, have you seen your show? Gene could get away with that.
Yeah.
Gene also did a picture of the two leads from Lost in Space, Guy Williams.
Oh, the ones where they're hanging in space?
Yeah. He got off 7 or 8 shots, and the wire broke, and Williams went crashing to the ground.
Really?
Yeah, that's all he got. He hurt himself, so they was not able to shoot anymore.
Wow.
And they had to take one of the shots that he did get and use that as the cover.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I know. It's one of those rare stories.
I have the TV guide, but I'd love to get the cover portrait.
Well, yeah, that's the story behind it. So look at this. An Angela Cartwright game. She was on the Danny Thomas show.
That's right.
And had her own board game.
Yeah.
Rough and Ready, the first TV Hanna-Barbera.
That's a rare one.
The Wild Wild West. There's Robert Conrad. Who was the other gentleman?
Ross Martin.
Ross Martin. There they are. Rat Patrol game again. Oh, my God. Elliot Ness. I'm out of words to describe. There's a Love Boat game. Gumby and Pokey has a game. I get what is the Who's on First game? Do you have to know the routine?
No, I don't know. You know what game I'm looking for though, and it's fairly recent.
Yeah.
But they only produce so many. It's Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein board game.
Really?
Yes.
I have that on 16 millimeter.
Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
My other daughter and I went and saw it at the West Elm Theater a couple weeks ago.
It holds up pretty good, right?
Oh, I love that film.
The monsters play it straight, make it fun.
Did you know in that film that in the one scene where the monster is Lou is tied to the gurney, and the monster's
throwing him around,
throwing the woman around, and he picks her up to throw out the window. Well, when Glenn Strange went to do that, he tripped on a cable and broke his ankle.
Oh no, didn't know that.
So in order to finish the scene, Lon Chaney stepped in.
Really?
In the Frankenstein makeup.
Really?
So there's a few seconds of Lon Chaney playing Frankenstein in that movie.
I did not know that. That is fascinating.
Yeah, that always fascinated me.
That is incredible. Lots of jigsaw puzzles. The Beatles, of course, and Beverly Hillbillies, Monkeys. Incredible. You got a Cecil disguise kit. The seasick sea serpent. Say that 3 times fast.
I saw a lot of Beanie and Cecil stuff at the last Chicago show.
Well, that's good. Good to hear.
Yeah.
I met Bob Clampett. He was in Toronto in 1980. Reg Hart, who was a collector of films. So Reg would put posters all over the city, come to see these rare films. So when I was at university, he did a screening. He brought Clampett up to Toronto, and he showed some classic Warner's cartoons, including the notorious ones that were, today would be so politically incorrect you couldn't watch them.
Right.
And Coal Black and D7 Dwarfs.
Oh, yeah.
And they passed around cells from that cartoon to the 70 of us who were gathered. And these cells had been worth like $70,000 at that point. And but lovely man, and it was really cool. He got a big hand. People loved to see that cartoon on a big screen. And
Oh, yeah.
it was pretty memorable. So I have a signed poster of his downstairs. Yeah, and you have from the Brady Bunch. What is this? A doll or a game?
Yeah, paper dolls.
Paper dolls.
Yeah.
Incredible.
I picked that up because I was thinking about getting it signed by Barry Williams when he was in Hamilton.
Yeah.
Then I found out he was asking $75 for an autograph.
These people get greedy, right?
And I said, forget it.
I saw him do a play years ago in Mississauga when they had a dinner theater.
Oh, yeah.
He came and did some,
Stage one?
Yeah, Stage West.
Stage West,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
it.
yeah.
I saw Robert Vaughn there.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
And it was great because what happened was my friend and I wrote a letter to him.
Oh wow!
And so it said we'd like to meet him after the show. And so after the show, they took us backstage. He met us. There were people in the green room, and he says, "Oh, excuse me, I have guests here." So the three of us went into the green room, just Robert Vaughn, my friend, and myself. And I took my video camera with us.
Yeah.
And what happened was a couple weeks later, we were going to a spy con in Chicago. And I thought, gee, it would be nice if I could get Robert Vaughn to do a little intro to SpyCon.
Yeah.
So that's what I did.
That's
I had the
fantastic.
camera. I says, we're here at Stage West in Mississauga. Just seeing Robert Vaughn and I Hate Hamlet. And Mr. Vaughn, can you welcome the people to SpyCon this year? And he did a little preamble.
That's
It was
awesome.
Great.
Well, it's always good to hear a nice, heartwarming story about a TV favorite. Bruce, congratulations on everything you've amassed here. Thank you very much for this
thanks
tour.
for coming over.
And, once again, what is the one game you're looking for? You're looking for the third Munster game?
Yes.
Okay, and it's got...
Munster's Masquerade game.
All right, everybody listening, let's get that game to the right place here.
Where it needs to be.
That's right. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Phil.
Thanks again to Bruce Button for the tour of his TV memorabilia museum. You can check out photos of plenty of the items we discussed here at my main website, brio.tv. That's BRIOUX.tv. Thanks as always to Phil Hong for collecting all of the conversations here on these podcasts and curating them for listeners. Thanks to BJ Del Conte, Paul Boudra, the Crispy Critters, and my old high school piano-playing pal, Stephen Dudley, for the music used on these podcasts. Special thanks to you for listening. And if you liked what you heard, please favor us with a like or a comment at Google, Spotify, Apple, or wherever you listen to podcasts. I'm Bill Brio. Thanks for listening.